And we are on. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching this from in the world, or if you're watching the replay. I am really happy to be back with you, Anna, for our fortnightly podcast, and to actually have you able to do it visually as well, because last time you may have watched that I couldn't get my camera StreamYard to see my camera, and so Anna was on, which was beautiful. We had Anna's beautiful face and just my voice, so it's lovely to be back with you in person. Now, hi Anna, would you like to say hello for today? How are you doing?
Thank you, Karen. The 2 weeks come around so quickly, and so here again, we would like to say hello to everyone who are watching live right now and who are watching later. As you said, it is much easier to talk to you in person. Like I can see your face, your expression on your face, because body language speaks more than 50% of the messages. So, however, your voice spoke beautifully anyway. So a lot of people listen to podcast. Sometimes we listen to podcast. We can feel the sentiments, the emotion, and we can feel the person behind the voice as well. So either way is good, right? So thank you.
True.
It's good to see you now. Thanks.
Yeah, that's true, Anna, and that's why, we just went ahead with that, and I thought we've got to deal with whatever comes up. And, there's not one thing that we can't overcome, or we can allow it to stop us, whichever we choose. So it's always a choice for us. And so that was why I said, let's do it. We'll just do it without my face on. There's no other way to get around this, and it's still going to be delivered to the people, to listen to and to watch with you. So that was a good point, is that overcome adversity, learn
Exactly.
that there's always a solution, there's always an answer, there's always a different way to look at something and move forward. And it reminds me of one of Einstein's favorite quotes, where he says, the problems we face cannot be solved at the level of frequency or energy that we create them with, or that we're in when we're in the problem. And so to move outside of that problem, to change our energy, to become objective from a different perspective, is what we want to do all the time with our life. And it brings me to our topic today, which is around what we want to attract, the circle of life, and how to have clarity around what we want with the life that we would love. So, Anna, I'm going to ask you to open with your thoughts around that first, if you wouldn't
For
mind.
that, the reason I would love to share our thoughts on this topic is because I've heard this statement a lot, Karen. I'm not sure when you're working with you're assisting somebody in finding out what is it that they want in their life or their life purpose. I've heard this statement a lot. I don't really know what I want.
Absolutely, I do
I've
too.
heard so many people saying that, and then I myself reflect on my version, the younger version of me. I always wanted to improve whatever the circumstances in my life. However, that clarity of what I really want wasn't there either. You know that you want to strive for better, but how is it that better? What is the better life look like, sound like, feel like? For me, I wasn't really sure. I just knew that okay, go after a better career. Basically, life is about career, focus, earning
Yeah.
an income, supporting a lifestyle. So I think that is really heated and really important question to answer in our life. So that's why I think this is really good, meaningful conversation for us to talk about, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to get clarity in what they want in their life. Yeah. So what about you? Like, how do you go about answering that question for you.
Yeah, and that's such a good point that you've brought up, Anna, that most of us do not really set out knowing and looking into what it is we would love in our life, because we've been trained to look at conditions to determine what opportunities there are, what possibilities there are, what we can do. We are not taught that we can actually have whatever we would love in our lives. We're taught to think from an outside perspective, a limitation, something we have to achieve out there before we can have, or something we have to gain from out there before we can have what we want, even have happiness. In many cases, people think, oh, when I do this, then I'll be happy. I'll be living a life I love. When I meet my perfect life partner, then I'll be happy. And it's completely backwards. We've learned to live an outside-in life where the authority and the empowerment to choose, when the authority and the empowerment to choose and decide comes from within. First, creation of what we would love in our life is in thought. And yet we don't go there. We don't dream it up. We don't think about it. We don't use our imagination. And the words that are really important is that everything is created twice. It is in thought first, and then it becomes real. So when we look at conditions to determine what we can or can't have, we're just basically repatterning the conditions that we already have, and we will always live a mediocre life. We might change a little color, a little form, a tiny bit in some way, but basically it's going to be the same life lived over again every year, over and over and over. And, I heard somebody say once that some people live 90 years and other people live 1 year 90 times over. And what do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that lives 1 year 90 times over? So the answer to your question, Anna, well, how do you answer what it is I would love? The first way to look at it is that, as you know, you're going to tell us about the 4 areas, and we all have a longing and discontent around usually 1 or 2 of the main domains that we create our results in, because we create our results, we create our life. And so if you look at, what do I long for? What would I love? What do I long for in one area, the main area that you maybe are not there yet? Maybe you want some change, you want more of in some way. What do I long for? Or what do I want more of? And you really start to go into yourself and use your imagination as if you could have whatever you wanted. As if someone out there, it can be me, it can be Anna, it can be anybody else, waved a magic wand and said, actually, you are under a magic genie. You can create magic in your life. And start to imagine your life in that area with the achieving that longing that you have, achieving that thing that you long for. And then start to do it with all the domains in your life, which Anna's going to talk about, and write it down with pen and paper. I am so happy and grateful now that I am doing, as if it's already happened. But imagine, say, 3 years out from now. That's how I teach my people, my clients, my people I'm working with, to start to recreate their lives the way they would love them.
What you just shared is really powerful, Karen. And I love your healthy and very amazing, extraordinary mindset. And in my work, I like to focus in 2 areas, whether my work, a mindset, and then there's a framework to achieve what you believe you can achieve. And I think the most important part is that belief you just said, you just share. A lot of people have the framework. Even if we give them the framework, framework means you have to have some kind of formula or structure. We conceptualize reality, right? And a lot of scientists in the area of human relation or human mind have created amazing model or framework for us to base on to conceptualize our reality. And I love using framework to help other people have that clarity. But even with framework, people without the right mindset will not use the framework to define their life. What you just shared, the first part, the most important part is the mindset. You got to believe that you can achieve whatever you want. And you're amazing. You have that wonderful belief. And then there's even for people who doesn't have that belief yet, with the framework, with the assistant to help them have the clarity, then they start to believe that is possible. So in order to move on to the framework, I usually use a concept called, like a circle of life. Some people call it a circle of life, or some people create a framework of like a house. In that house, what is important? Like consider our life as a house, like a home. Your life as a home, what would you like to have in your home? That is important to you. And to build the home of your dream, you need a foundation. And then you need the wall and the pillar. And then you need the nice roof over it. And then you decorate the garden. And then you decorate the interior, right? So the more you design that to be exactly as you want, you have the clarity of that picture. And then you can start building that house. And you can start building the garden, the gate, and then you start building, collecting the interiors, the kind of kitchen bench, bathroom, how you want to live your life. So I usually use that metaphor or analogy as a framework for us to understand what is your base foundation, what is your wall, what is your roof, and how does your garden look like. That's one way. There are many other ways. Some people use it as circle. And in that circle of our life, we have certain areas. And even if we look at life as if it's complicated, but life has only a few major areas. And if we can achieve and we are successful in all of these areas at once, then life would be quite fulfilling. Yeah. And in that area, I usually look at 4 major areas in life. And some people think they're more, they can add to 5. If they have more, they add 6, 7, or 8 or more. But 4 major key points in life, if we have it all, then life is pretty good. And I guess you may be saying, what are those 4 areas? We both know, but for me, to simplify this framework, I call it 4 areas of life. And the foundation is my inner being, my spirit, my emotion, and my thought. That is the foundation for me to build my life on. If I'm not at peace, if I don't have self-belief, I don't feed my mind with strength and belief, then it's hard. It's very rubble. Anything happen, a little challenge happen, my foundation will be rubble. So I'm building the castle. So I have to make sure that foundation is strong. Yeah. So that is my inner being. Got to be really strong as a foundation. And then the wall and the pillar would be the 2 area, which is my health. My health. People say, if you, a person with health can dream 1,000 dreams. But if you don't have your health, you only have 1 dream, to be healthy. So that's really important aspect of our life. And then the third one would be your relationships, right? Relationship is the really critical part. And we have to learn to build relationship to improve relationship you have with yourself, with the people that you love, mom, dad, sister, brothers, partners, children. Those are the major core relationship, friends, and then college, and then people you extend it to the world. Get it bigger when you can manage the smaller circle of your relationship. That is the foundation I built on. And then from there, I have a backbone strength foundation to go about my career, to create the finance, to support those three important parts of my life, which is my health, my inner being, my peace, and the relationship that's important in my life. So those are the four major areas as a framework I focus on to work on. If I have them all, life is good. What about you? What do you think of that?
I think that's fantastic advice, and it's a great structure to use, Anna. I agree 100%. Our health, our relationships, our whatever we're working on for
Inner
our
being,
financial, and our peace and time and money freedom, and our peace and joy and the way that we feel are all super important part of that foundation and that structure. And I love that you work like that. What I love that you compared it to the house in the other ways as well, because here's the thing that's really important is that when we want to do something physical, like maybe we're renovating or building a new house, and we go through the process of thinking and imagining, oh, what do I want the kitchen to look like? What do I want the kitchen bench top to be made out of? What color? And we visualize it all. Maybe I want white marble, maybe the cupboard doors I want to be shiny black or shiny white. What is my living area going to look like? What are the doors going to be like? Where will they look out to? Will it be a beautiful garden view? And we actually create this in our imagination, in our minds first. And then we go, okay, well, I want this. Maybe we don't know how yet. Maybe we don't think we have the funds. But as soon as we make that decision, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way. Then we go about our lives in a different way with a different attitude towards what it is that we would love to have in that home that we're building. And we start to make plans to bring that possibility into our present or future. And so we will maybe go and get quotes on the cost, and then we will see what money we have. We will see if we can make some more money to pay for that, or if we have enough, or if we can leverage off our mortgage and borrow, a line of credit to do it. But the interesting thing is that once we make the decision, we then find the solutions. We then find the way. We find the how. But the how will never show up until we make the commitment and the decision. Now, that's fine with the house or anything else that we're creating as a material thing in this world. But the same process works for our results in life. Exactly the same process. We dream it up, we imagine it in our mind, we work out what it is we would love, then we make a commitment and a decision, and then we start to take action. We get that out of our minds onto some kind of blueprint or paper or design that someone else can also look at with us. And then we start to take action. We order the products, or we go, if it's to do with our life and our results, we'll work out what to do next. What is one step that I can take that's going to bring me closer to living that life I would love? And if we take action, we will ground the energy to bring that to fruition. That taking action is a grounding energy, and nothing will work without it. So inspiration without action is merely entertainment. So that's how it works energetically. And we've got some guests on here. I just want to say hi. We've got Lassie's here. Hi, Lassie. And I love that you said you want it all, and you're imagining now chilling by the swimming pool right now, by your swimming pool. You're imagining chilling by your swimming pool right now. So I'm guessing that you don't have a swimming pool yet, Lassie, and you're imagining that you will have one. That is amazing. And yes, she says you guys are architects. We're all architects. We're all the architects of our own lives, or the directors of our own movie. We are. If we only knew that we can direct the movie of life that we want, we have the ability, and it all comes from in here. That's where it starts. That's where it finishes. That's where it stops. That's where things stop us, always from in here. And we've got Gazi.
Yeah,
hi, Gazi.
Yes, hi. I would just would like to make the point you just share, that we are willing to spend a lot of time designing a house. Sometimes we're just designing a bathroom. We are willing to spend months researching to make sure that we have the picture, the end goal. Because without the end goal, which is the destination, you don't know how to go about to get there. We're willing to spend months on that, but not many of us spending a few weeks on getting clarity on our life's goal.
That is so true, Anna. I love that.
So that is the irony of life. And sometimes we say, oh, okay, one project after another. However, all of these projects, sometimes when we completed it, it doesn't fall into the piece. Like they are not the piece of the life puzzle at all. And they will be waste of energy and time, because you finish that piece of your life puzzle, it doesn't fit in to your end goal. So however, like I didn't know that myself until I approached life coach, counseling. Before that, I think in my 20s, I worked with one of a really smart guy who shared with me a framework, a structure that I use for every 5 years plan. But at that point in time, I didn't realize that I should go further to have that, the circle of life, the architect, like the final picture of what is it that I really want in this life, what is important in my life. So I end up just focusing on career aspect. When career aspect is all about making money to support a life, and then just making money is enough time, and I forget all others aspect of life that is more important to me. And then when I get to 40 and after 40, I felt a bit overwhelmed. I say, oh, what is it that I really want? Is it the promotion? No. Is it the money? I have more than enough money now. I mean, just for my need, I have more than enough. So what is it? At that point in time, I have to start really looking for the answer for that. What is it, the end goal of my life? What is the purpose? And then fit into that all the major important area of my life, my kid, my relationship, my health, my inner beings, my spiritual life, my emotion, my mental health, my growth, and then career and the freedom are all part of that. And here, I think we might wrap up soon, but I'll leave the question, what is it that we really want, is an answer that can be answered. It's not like a question that a lot of people think, oh, it's impossible. It is a simple answer to answer. It can be answered. It can be, with the right framework, you can find out what is it that you really want. And the next question is, how much do you believe that you can have it all? And if you believe, like Karen said in the earlier, once you believe you can have it all, there will be a way. Yeah, we can figure out a way. So the question to leave to the audience, if anyone is listening later, how is it that you want to live your life? You've got to have that framework, and that framework is not hard to find. The profession in the world that can help you find out and design that. And the next thing is how much you do believe that you can have it all. And I love what Lassie said. She wanted it all, and I believe that she can have it all.
Yeah.
She's an amazing lady.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Lati and Gazi. So I love what you said, Anna. I love the reminder that most of us spend more time planning something like a new kitchen. Most of us spend more time planning a weekend away than
Yes.
we do planning our lives.
Mm.
So what we can do is some repatterning, some paradigm busting, some opening up, some exploring into what it is that we really want to do, to be, do, have, what we would love to create in our lives. And that's the way it works in the universe. Your life you love will not be something that's a chore. It'll be something that gives you life. It'll be something that expands you, that opens you, and that you are thrilled to be living, where you have this overwhelming thought when you wake up, I love my life. That's how the universe works, when you're in harmony with your soul's purpose, when you're in harmony with what you are here to be and do. And then things get easier. Flow expands and you become more alive. You're energized. This is the most passionate, wondrous, alive-making way to live life. And yet most of us don't learn that recipe. The underlying principle is close up. Sorry.
You remember? I'm not sure if you mentioned the word "The Secret," the book "The Secret" by Rhonda Byrne. There's a framework in there in that book for us to design our life. So can read that one and apply and answer that. Use the framework in that book is really good. One of my friends used that to help a group of your community to design their life, and it's pretty simple. And she create a group and she nurture the group and help them achieve all these areas at once, rather than just focus in one and let the other fall off. And many other books that allow that teach people to do so if they don't want to talk to a professional in the area. And I remember as you talk, and it triggered my a story. I listened to a podcast by one of the really famous entrepreneur, and he was talking about how he spent 5 days in a row doing nothing but planning his picture, his end picture of life, and he pictured in every single aspect of his life, and he designed it, and he imagined it, and he spent 4 solid days. He sat on a train somewhere. He has nothing else to do. He just used that time 4 days in a row with all the piece of paper spreading out like an architect. He draw every part of it, and then he collected all the photos and pictures, and he put it in each category. And he said he did that in his, I think he shared the story, success story, in his early 20s. And by the time he's like 50 or something, he achieved many of them. And that people say, people who write down their goals in life, only 3% of the population does so, and they are the one who achieve it. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
I can go on, but I get back to you to wrap it up.
Yes.
And yes, thank you.
Yes, and Lassie says she loved that The Secret and watched it at a party in San Francisco. Yeah, it's a wonderful movie. It's a wonderful book. Just to let you know, most people learn by reading books. However, people usually achieve more by working with other people, whether it's like you said, form a group, form an accountability group, or work with other coaches or people who will believe in you. You really want partners in believing that you are capable of doing this, because this is contrary to what we're taught, right? So the underlying principles are these. What is within you is greater than anything in your surroundings. What is within you is greater than any circumstance in your life. What is within you, the power within you, is greater than your history or your past. And your history does not need to determine your destiny unless you decide that it will. So every one of us carries an idea about our history, about the mistakes that we've made, about our past, and why often we can't be, do, or have something else. it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to draw a line in the sand and say, up until now, that may have affected me, or that affected me, or that stopped me. But now this is my vision. And it's different to goals too. I want to make the distinction. A goal is a more tangible part. A vision is the big picture of your life, what it would look like if you were living that life that you were absolutely in love with. You had a love affair. And you've got to have a love affair with that vision to have enough fuel to push you forward over the challenges and obstacles and paradigms and limiting beliefs that you have that will stop you from achieving that. Because as we said, everything is achievable. You just have to decide what it is, make the decision and make the commitment. Yes, that is what I want. So
your belief is amazing, Karen. Your unwavering belief is just amazing. It's very contagious.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, and I love sharing this time with you and talking together, and because you always bring a different perspective or remind our viewers of something different from your point of view, your perspective, your growth, your learning, which is really, really valuable. It's really refreshing to hear your journey through this process as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Lassie, and Ghazi and other people who have joined us today or will join us on the replay. It's been wonderful talking about this. It's one of my passionate topics, as you know. And if anyone wants help to create that vision, to really get clarity on what their life would look like, then reach out to either Anna or myself on LinkedIn and ask for help. Because when you start to do this, your old way of thinking will limit you, make you go, oh, well, I couldn't do that now, so I won't put that in. I won't say I want this. I'll just say I want that. And then you'll be living, in a few years' time, you'll be living that life when really you wanted this life.
Yeah. And talk to Karen. Karen can help you figure that out within a few hours rather than spending weeks and weeks and months and years writing and spending time doubting yourself, whether I don't know what I want. Actually, you deep down, you know what you want. You just, maybe you need to believe that what you want is possible. Yeah. So I think that is more important. Everyone wants a grand life. Everyone wants success and happiness. But maybe the belief that it's not for me that stopped me people from acting.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do it.
Yes, you're so right, Anna.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So thank you, Lassie. Lassie said such an empowering discussion. It's been great having you here and interacting. Thank you for your comments.
Very kind, very supportive, Lassie. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your support. And on that note, we'll say goodbye to everyone. Thank you, Anna. Look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time.
See you next time
for our next meaningful conversation. Bye.
Bye.